Causes. Thank y'all for joining me today. Well, I'm here in Dallas for the Saints Cowboys Thursday night matchup, and I hope Cowboys fans don't take this beat down too seriously, too badly. You know who that? But we all aware of this whole migrant situation that's going on. You know, the migrant caravans. Well, now they've made it to our borders, and they're invading. They've amassed at the Tijuana San Diego border, and some of them have jumped up the fence, have broken down the border. They've thrown rocks at our border patrol agents while trying to get in. And of course, you know, the media covers this. You got based upon where you go. If you go to the leftist media, it's going to be, you know, these poor women and children coming in America for a better life, right? And if you go to the conservative media, they will say, well, we're being invaded, which is true. We are being invaded because the majority of these people are, you know, like something like 80% or 80 to 90% are men of military age. That's not women and children. And you know, these cowards, of course, they're going to hide behind those children, and the leftist media are going to go out there looking for any women and children that they can find and put them at the spotlight. But it's mostly men. But I like to give a different perspective because I don't like to give people the same story over and over again. So my perspective on this is I always like to deal with, you know, why. You know, I always criticize leftists for having that what disease. Only focuses on the what, but I like to deal in the how and the why. So the question has to be, why do you see all these migrants, you know, coming from Central America, and I also hear even South America, coming to our borders under the guise of a better life? And we also see the same situation going on in Europe with all the Muslim, you know, with the Muslim immigrants who are invading Europe, creating all kind of problems. You know, they come in, they create these Muslim no-go zones just popping up all over Europe. They tell, you know, in their home countries, they tell them not to assimilate. You know, you don't assimilate to their belief system. You know, you go into their countries, and once they get to that sufficient number, you know, that 5 to 10%, then you start to see their true agenda. They start demanding special rights and privileges, that everybody accommodate them and conform to their belief system, as opposed to the other way around. You go into other people's country, you conform to them. But no, they want everyone to conform with their beliefs. You know, you see the Muslim gangs, you know, rape is just going up all throughout Europe. European nations, these Muslim rape gangs are just arising. And, you know, we see something like acid attacks. Acid attacks wasn't even a Western thing. It was a Middle Eastern, Afghanistan, Pakistan, India thing in those areas. But now acid attacks are on the rise in Europe. And Europeans are just catching more hell than Natalie Cole with these Muslim immigrants, yet the politicians, not the people, the politicians keep pushing for more migrants to come. And you have to ask yourself, well, why? What the hell is going on? You know, you don't have to be Albert Einstein to realize that something is up. You know, something's going on with these politicians. So why is it happening? Why do we see this mass influx of migrants? Well, it has to do, you know, the Bible. The Bible talks about there will be a time in the near future when we will have a 10-nation system that's going to be headed by the Antichrist. And all those who will be subjugated to this system, of course, you know, we all have heard, will be forced to have a mark in their right hands and their forehead, which they will not be able to buy or sell. We've all heard that line before. And you know, that total cashless society. But you know, we have to ask ourselves, well, why is this happening, and who's pushing for this? Well, you know, the code word for this 10-nation union, this one world government, which is going to subjugate a significant portion of the world, as the Bible tells us, is we call it the New World Order. You know, these globalist people, they want globalism, they want this one world government, and they want to erode national borders. Well, one of the biggest stumbling blocks to this whole one world government or the new world order is nationalism. And this is why, nationalism is basically defined as just being extremely patriotic about your country. That's what nationalism is. There's nothing wrong with that. But this is why the word nationalism has just been demonized in the leftist media. They try to equate Trump with Hitler because they both were nationalistic. Even though Hitler is a national socialist and Trump is a national capitalist, which are two different things. And really, leftists have more in common with Hitler and the Nazis than Trump does. And then you have the quote unquote the white nationalists, right? This organization, this white group of people, even though by definition, a white nationalist would be a white person who's extremely patriotic about their country. And as I've always said, then that makes me a black nationalist because I'm extremely patriotic about my country, and obviously I'm black. But then I'm also patriotic about my Saints, who that? And I'm pretty sure the people in Dallas are patriotic about their Cowboys. They're supposedly quote unquote the America's team. And I'm guessing Central America because they're damn sure in North America. But this is why nationalism, or the word nationalism, is being demonized, because nationalism is the greatest stumbling block to this one world order, this new world order, this one world government that they're trying to push. And that's the whole issue, the whole purpose of these migrant immigrants, because one of the best ways to create chaos is to have a mass influx of mass invasion from people in one area and other cultures to another culture, area culture, that's going to cause mass chaos. And these globalists, they live by the model of order out of chaos. In other words, they create the chaos and they offer the solution, and which is their order. And they create the problem and then they offer us a solution. And they know that people are going to be a lot more receptive to change if there's issues, if there's problems, than they are if everything is fine. If everything is fine and great, nobody's going to want to change. It's going to be more resistant to change. But if you have problems in this order, well, people are going to be a lot more receptive to their solution that they bring. Again, this is why we see this whole migrant issue going on in the world. All this whole mass migration of people from poor and impoverished areas to the West. They're trying to create chaos and mass hysteria because this is just an attempt for the globalist elitists to try to bring about their new world order. And this is why, despite the fact that the people, especially in Europe, are getting fed up with Muslim refugees, yet the politicians keep advocating for more mass influx of these migrants. And this is why you always see, the idiots have been brainwashed with this no borders, no Trump, no wall, no borders at all. This is why the idiots have been brainwashed with that nonsense, because they want world government. But anyway, this is my view on it, and I'm pretty sure there's a lot more into it. But I think this pretty much covers why we see this whole migrant situation. And again, illegal immigration across our southern border isn't nothing new. It's been happening, but now we see they're pushing for this mass caravan. And don't be surprised and shocked if George Soros and his happy making money has nothing to do with this. But if you're wondering why we see this situation of these migrants, these caravans now trying to invade our country, this is why. This is my view. Now I'm pretty sure people have other points to add, but this pretty much sums it up. But anyway, as always, y'all, and thank y'all for watching.